Started her first Detroit Lions last year, 12-5, over under 10.5 wins. Last year, of course, was a quarter away from going to the Super Bowl. Then Man Campbell made some errors of judgment there on certain calls there. It's kind of weird seeing the Lions now 2 years in a row have expectations. Now, isn't it weird?
Barry Sanders days.
Even then,
Or actually, no. When you had Matthew Stafford playing for
but not this high, not
who
this
was that
high.
coach?
Jim Caldwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Even
went 9-7,
but not this high though.
no,
And
because you
Caldwell's
still had a Rod in his heyday and whatnot. Like they were never favored.
yeah. Am I wrong for thinking this team's a little overvalued? Slightly.
Nope. They are right where they're supposed to be. This is over.
Yeah, no, it's definitely over. I'm not. They're winning 11, 12 games this year, no matter what. I'm confident in. It's more.
There's only one reason why this is an easy over. Why? Because they were lucky enough to retain both their coordinators when they were both probably the two most deserving coordinators in the league.
It's true.
Oh no.
They were able to retain both of them. I think that's very important. That's the only reason why. And I feel like that's the only reason why their window is this year and this year only. After this year, I think their window shuts. They have too many gargantuan contracts that I don't think will survive. But this year alone, I think that's going to be their year. I think Jameson Williams going into his third year with no gambling distraction, no injuries. He's going to be a stud next to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Sam Laporta jumping in. That offensive line stacked. My pick for MVP, call me crazy, I think Jared Goff is going to win it this year. And it's because the Detroit Lions will be number one seed in the NFC.
What kind of odds are you getting right now?
Wait, what? Can we pause here real quick? You're talking about Jared Goff as your MVP pick. Mm-hmm. Where was he again on your list of quarterbacks?
Oh, that's because his talent's there, not because he's a good quarterback. That's because the talent and the continuity of the coaching staff, everything's in place for them this year. And I think because Montgomery's kind of aging out and Jahmyr Gibbs is more of a smaller back, I think Jared Goff will put up more stats. That doesn't mean he's good. He's just going to put up a lot of stats this year.
It's worth noting that you can get Jared Goff at 2001 for MVP odds.
Yeah.
Why don't you bet it, Chris? Put a little $5 $10 teaser on that. This is a little man.
Is it 2,000 to 1 or 20 to 1?
2,001, I said. Plus 2,000.
Yeah, that's on $100 bet, right?
That's on $100 bet. Yeah.
No. I'm just saying, put like a little.
So that's 20 to 1.
Oh no! Okay, I'm just saying it's plus 2,000. I'm reading this here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 20.
I'm just saying. I said just throw money to it. Throw a little something to it. You know.
I like the over.
Put towards your daughter's college savings. You know.
They're just a team that the continuity, everything is there for them. This is going to be a big year for them. Whether or not they make Super Bowl is one thing. But
what you're saying here, based on the optics, though, is that this is an all-in year for them. This is like all-in or
I think for sure Ben Johnson's gone. Aaron Glenn, especially being voted the number one coordinator by his players, was huge for him. Like both coordinators will probably be gone next year. And I think the wheels fall off.
Well, especially if they're good this year too, especially.
But then you get like Penei Sewell, his huge extension kicks in. Amon-Ra St. Brown's extension kicks in. Jared Goff's extension kicks in. So now all of a sudden, these huge contracts you sign is going to put them in salary cap hell. Then you're going to have Aiden Hutchinson come up for a big contract. So this is the last year for them, really.
Wow, 2-year window, huh? That's crazy. Zach, you went over as well too?
Oh yeah, you have to take the 10.5. Yeah, with their schedule. Yeah, easy.
I think the big question here now is in the division, not even Detroit, it's Green Bay. Last year, 9-8, over under 9.5 wins. So kind of like the Eagles, but the opposite way. Started very slow, then surged late, got to the playoffs, won a playoff game in Dallas, blew them out, and were literally competitive. I mean, Zach and I watched the game together at the bar that Chris unfortunately didn't want to come out because of other reasons. So I'll have to mention on the podcast, but they had a Niners that's rights going to the fourth quarter. and then they imploded. But my point is this: like they paid Jordan Love that money, which I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Crazy.
Is it crazy? Too early? Too soon for that?
To be the number one highest, tied for number one highest annual average salary for quarterback is insane. After 1 year production,
I agree, but at the same time, that's what victim of timing, I guess.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah, that too. That because of the timing and all that. Green Bay, another team that. Okay, are they? Who's the real team? Was it the team that got hot late in the year, or the team that started slow to start the year last year?
I'm gonna say it's the team that got hot because they started out real good those first 2 weeks. Jordan Love looked really good, and then they imploded for about a 5-game stretch.
Yeah,
and then they turned it back on. So if they play like they did last year, I mean, they're competing for a division title again, right?
Yeah,
it's not winning 10 games. They're looking at 11 or 12 at least. And when you look at the schedule, again, they play in the NFC, so it's an easier matchup.
All right, Chris. So go ahead.
I like the over. They're an interesting team. I think the wide receiver dynamics gonna be interesting because they have 3 guys and you don't know who's the main guy. Is it Christian Watson? Is it Jaden Reed? Is it Dontavian Wicks? Who is the number one guy there? I think that needs to be established. Most people say Christian Watson, but man gets hurt a lot.
Yeah.
But he would probably be the most alpha athlete of the 3. So to see the development of those 3 guys going would be key, with Jordan Love like having a good connection with them all again and seeing that flow. Josh Jacobs, big pickup for them.
Yeah.
You know, you're subbing out an aging Aaron Jones who was constantly hurt, and Aaron Jones really turned it up at the end of the year last year.
He did
5 straight 100-yard games to end the season. You're replacing him with a younger guy. Now, Josh Jacobs has some, he has plenty of tread left. Even though he's been used the past 2 years, he wasn't used much in college. And so I would still say he's got like 3 solid years left in the tank. Defensive coordinator, big upgrade. So they got Boston College's head coach to become their D coordinator now. That was a major point for them. Their defense was getting shredded last year. So I just think the way the rest of the division, especially like Minnesota, super trending down, I think that'll keep them at this over. But I won't say like, oh, they're really gonna. They're contenders. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
No, in the NFC, there's not many real contenders. They're one of them.
I don't doubt they'll get the over. I think at least 10-7. I just wonder, are they on Detroit's level? Are they a team that can? Well, they beat Dallas last year in the playoffs, so you can say they beat Dallas. Can they compete with San Francisco? They almost beat them last year. Can they compete with Philadelphia? We'll see week 1 out the shoot. So they have questions to answer. I don't
even count that game because any game on a different
no, I agree.
Like different continent, I'm not going to count that game.
But I'm just curious, which team is the real deal? Was it the one that started off slow, granted a lot of injuries, or a team that got red hot at the end of the year? That's the question. But I'm going to go over this one. I like Jordan Love. I like what I saw late in the year, and I think that'll be a fun watch this year. All right, next team here, we have the Chicago Bears. This is a team I'm looking for watching probably more than any this year for obvious reasons. Last year, 7-10. This year, over numbers 8.5. Of course, number 1 draft pick, Caleb Williams. Some nice pieces around him too as well. Keenan Allen being one. They re-signed DJ Moore to an extension as well. They got a nice defense now on paper. If you're a rookie quarterback coming to this situation, you're in a very, very good situation out the chute. I think this Bears team might be a wildcard team. I think this team might be the team that causes havoc in that wildcard situation. I'm obviously going to go over saying that. Do they make the playoffs? We'll see. But I think you look at all the we'll get to that in a second with our predictions. But this is definitely one of the teams I believe. Like if Caleb Williams could even play just average football, not turn all over, just get the job done because it has no weapons around him to play well. I think this team could be a playoff team. Zach,
I won't go playoff team because you got this guy who's kind of brittle at wide receiver. So He's great
Keenan
wide
Allen?
receiver. Yeah, Keenan Allen, great
Yeah,
wide
good 'em.
receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have him playing in Washington. Don't get me wrong, but it's a lot of hopes you're putting on having a great tandem at wide receiver. I feel DJ Moore. I think that dude's a stud. Pretty sure he's going to be there for 15, 16 games this season. Not worried about him. Not really sure about the running back situation there yet.
Swift, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little small. You're going to need someone who can take a pounding when you're using a rookie quarterback. This was one of the hardest ones to decide because you're like 8, 9 games. Because I don't see 10. And unless something bad happens, I don't see 6 or less. So
Should we go to schedule?
I'm gonna take the under just because I think Green Bay and Detroit are so good.
Easy under. This is the most oversold team on the market. Caleb Williams has shown me everything I needed to see in the preseason, which is he holds on to the ball so long. This man's trying to hit home runs every single play. It's going to lead to a lot of mistakes. He's going to hit some big plays, don't get me wrong. But what you see in Jaden Daniels, where he's getting rid of the ball on time, keeping the stick moving, Caleb Williams against like second and third string defenses is like trying to, he looks like a guy who's playing Madden.
He looks like Burrow.
But you don't need that, and it's not going to lead to success. They're very, very overhyped. And don't forget, Matt Eberflus is kind of almost in a lame duck situation where who knows if he's going to be there next. If they're not even that great or you don't see that improvement, I think the bar is set so high for them that Eberflus is definitely gone next year.
I still said they should have signed Jim Harbaugh.
But it's just one of those things where it's like, now why would you, the new hype thing is to tie a young quarterback to a new head coach, and you kind of ride them both out together. That's the thing everyone does. So then why you have the number 1 overall draft pick? You have a guy that you're unsure of in Matt Eberflus, and you're gonna be like, let's see what he does with him. But then now, if you switch, coaching staffs, now you're gonna have your number 1 overall pick going to a whole completely different playbook year 2, restart fresh. It's just a dumb move. This is why they haven't had like a 4,000-yard passer ever in franchise history. That right there. So, give me the under.
All right. Okay.
I'll bet he gets 4,000 yards, becomes the first Bears quarterback to ever do it.
Wait, no one's done it before? 9J Cutler?
Nobody.
That is a team cursed with quarterback issues. Well, anyway, last team here in the division, the Minnesota Vikings, who last year went 7-10. This year, over numbers 6.5 wins. Of course, they drafted JJ McCarthy, who is now out for the year. This team is, I don't know, man. I was looking forward to watching him play because I had a lot of questions about him as a pro moving forward. Wait another year, obviously now. This is an easy under. This might be one of the worst teams in football this year.
Yeah, I would say this is one of the 2 teams that would be a toss-up for Carolina to maybe win. All right. But they are a terrible team with Sam Darnold being your starting quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to see what Darnold can do with O'Connell as a good play caller, good head coach, an offensive mind. We'll see. It's not crazy for some high draft pick to float throughout his career and then to really turn around. It happens. So
yeah, thank you, Geno Smith.
Am I going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe they go over here? I don't think they are, but I wouldn't call it far fetched if Jordan Addison doesn't get suspended, because who knows if he is or not. And if he stays healthy and JJ stays healthy and TJ Hawkinson, all of a sudden Darnold's surrounded by good talent. The offensive line is good enough. If Aaron Jones stay healthy, they could easily blow this over out of the water.
8-9 good?
But they could be a fringe playoff team if one stays healthy. But I don't think Aaron Jones is going to stay healthy.
Where's Josh Dobbs at now?
It's San Fran.
Oh, you should have let him go, man.
Yeah.
I get
But
it,
like,
but yeah.
to me, you need too many things to go perfect for them to hit the over. So I'm going to go under here. But
Yeah.
you're never going to say they got outcoached. Like, the team is good. Like, the coaching staff is good. And I wouldn't think that Sam Darnold's the reason why they're not going to win games. But I just think everything's been against them right now. It's just trending so down for them this year that I just think this is going to be a bad year for them.
All right.